Hi, I'm Beverly Banois Brown. Today on Codependency Revealed, we're going to be talking about a question that came from several of the YouTube community asking me to do a video about splintered families. Splintered families, what are splintered families and how at times do they tend to create codependency in one or more of their members? Most importantly, if you're a member of a splintered family, which so many people are in one way or another, what can you do to help yourself and to help create more harmony and cohesiveness in your family? That's our topic. It's a big one, and I'm going to be covering it educationally. This is not offered as any kind of a panacea, and I want to make it very clear that this is not a hopeless situation at all. I've seen incredible healing in people who claimed that they were splintered, fragmented, totally turned off about their families, never wanted to see them again, never wanted to speak to them again. It was very ugly, and it turned around. And it can turn around for everybody, eventually. Here's how. First of all, what is a splintered family? A splintered family, the way I'm defining it right now, is any family where there's been significant discord. Many people define it only as a situation where it's what's known as a broken home, which means the parents, if they were ever married, are no longer married. They may be separated. They may be actually legally divorced. They're in the process of it. And it's talking about the ramifications for all of the family members. In the definition I use and work with as an intuitive and as a life and relationship coach who has worked with groups and families, individuals and couples for now over 30 years, I feel that the definition needs to be expanded to any family where there is a situation where one or more of the people feel alienated from each other, feel excluded, feel rejected, feel scapegoated, as in the case of many narcissistic situations, feel that they have been basically left out in some important way. What are some of the things that create this fragmentation? And most importantly, again, what can you do to help heal it? One of the things that I've seen in working with my clients is that a family member dies. Let's say a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, a father or mother, and there is an estate to be settled. And one or more of the siblings or nieces and nephews or brothers and sisters of the person who died may feel that they are entitled to a house, a boat, a car, an emerald ring, a diamond brooch, whatever form it might take, money, savings, stocks, bonds, and they're absolutely royally pissed that they don't feel they're getting their share. Even if there's a will, and especially if there's not a legally set up, orderly direction for things to go in. Anyone who dies intestate without a will is really being very irresponsible, because at a time when there is shock often and sadness, and also sometimes the family resentment, since it's a time of great change and vulnerability come out, the kids, the siblings, in some cases the parents if it was one of their own children, are at their absolute low point in terms of making rational, reasonable decisions. That's the time often when the family should pull together and be closest and come from their loving hearts and reassure and comfort one another, there's fighting. And that can lead to a permanent splintering of the family, just when they really could use each other's loving kindness and compassion the most. So, one of the things you can do, if you find yourself in this situation and it's creating codependent behavior, usually the earlier in the child's life that this occurs, or the person's life, the likelier I found it is to create codependent behavior. Why? Very often, the codependent behavior, which is an early on learned way of getting one's needs met, of getting the love, the attention, the reassurance, the proof, in some cases, that they're loved, that they're cherished, that they're honored, along with every other member of the family, is by getting a lot of attention, a lot of praise, a lot of loving. And if there is not a lot of loving and time and nurturing energy available to be lavished on them, because the parents are either one or more absent, or there are caregivers coming in, the nannies, let's say, or the daycare centers, or whatever it is, where everybody's busy scurrying around dealing with their own needs or the needs of others, and they're kind of what you might call worn thin, spread too thin. The child gets a message sometimes that they're not really worthy, that they don't really deserve much, and so there's not much point in asking, and they then get into that place of codependency where they feel like they have to be fixing or be especially efficient. They have to shine in some way in order to merit just a normal amount of attention. Codependency also can result if there are several siblings who are younger and the oldest one is told basically, you're responsible now for the rest of the family now that Daddy and I are no longer together, or Mommy and I are no longer together. And the child then is often asked to really take on responsibilities that are beyond what their age category would dictate would be appropriate. They're asked to grow up way too fast. If there's a chronic illness in the family which has caused strain and stress on a marriage, that also, or a special needs child, or an elder who is kind of fragile physically or intellectually suffering some memory issues and having to live in the house altogether, this can cause a lot of codependent behavior on the part of some of the children as well. And if you've got family members who are already displaying codependent clutching and hovering over everybody and trying to stage manage things in order to feel safe, and again, always trying to get our needs met in one way or another, either functionally or by manipulation and control, then you have situations which then often will create an intolerable situation for one or more people in the family, and they leave as soon as they can. It splinters off. Incestuous situations in families, drugs and alcohol, rageaholic behavior can also contribute to people just saying, we've had it, we're done, we're out of here as soon as they can. When you have somebody who you meet and you find out that they left home at 15 or 16 or 18, very often that is an indicator that they were dealing with a splintered family situation where there may have been abuse, they may have been the scapegoat in the family, and if that was the case, in order to survive, in order to have any sense of their own personhood, they had to move on. They had to get out as fast and as far away as they could. So I hope that answers the question adequately in the short amount of time that I have to devote to this today. It's a subject that I could write numerous very lengthy papers on and do whole mini-series about. Let me leave you with a couple of golden nuggets, I like to call them, gleaned from my own life and from many years of doing work with individuals, couples, and families and groups who often have come to me in tears saying, there's no way that we can ever have peace with these people again. Help me make peace with the fact that I will never see my mother again, or my father again, or my abusive brother again. I can't go back to that. I will not subject myself to that ever again. Golden nugget number 1 today. on this very, very poignant subject, where one would hope that people would have significantly secure attachment bonds to one another and really have each other's backs, not because they feel they are obligated because of blood family ties, but really because of bonds of love and trust and mutual caring. Golden nugget number 1. Accept the fact that the family is where it is at this time and know that it can change for the better at any moment. Golden nugget number 2. The only person we can change is ourselves. Remember, please, it always starts with us. So go within at a time when you can be quiet and evaluate where you are in your own life. How can you strengthen yourself? How can you build strong, secure bonds with what I call extended family or chosen family? How can you build community for yourself so that you're not wanting to have any kind of healing with your own family of origin because of neediness or codependency? Rather, you're creating a situation where you'd like to reestablish some healthy boundaries with them once you get clear on what your own are. And again, it's not out of need. It's a matter of a normal, healthy desire to have a sweet, healthy, functional, loving family. Next golden nugget: forgive yourself for anything that you may have said or done, or not said or not done. Because if you really ask yourself the question, how will anything be helped by my beating up on myself repeatedly? The answer to the question very likely is, it will not help me, it will not help them, it will not help the world in general, because every time somebody starts belittling themselves and playing small because they don't think they deserve good stuff in their lives, everybody suffers, because it literally brings the vibration down to a level of heaviness. It's a low vibration, it's a low frequency, and what we want to do invariably is radiate more love, more light onto this earth, which needs all the healing and love it can get. And the next golden nugget, and the last one I'm going to share with you today: remember that sometimes change takes time. It's a process. It very likely took years for your family to become so dysfunctional, so fragmented, so splintered. And remember that each one of you are having your own experiences. You have your own soul's path to walk, even if you're brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, grandparents, aunts and uncles. There is always room for the possibility, the potential that a shift in consciousness can occur. Keep them, if you're a praying person as I am, in your loving prayers. Send them wishes for their well-being, for their happiness, for their peace, and let yourself do that loving prayer or meditation or just sending good thoughts, whatever feels right to you in your life, in a way and in a spirit that has no strings attached. No expectations, no strings, just wishing them all well as you wish for yourself. That all the wonderful blessings of life can come to them as they can come to you. And that's my wish for everyone who's watching this video, that life gives you so many reasons to smile about, and that through gratitude for all the beautiful things that are already occurring in our lives, your point of attraction will be so magnetically wonderful that you'll attract more reasons for bliss. Until next time, I'm Beverly Banoir Brown. It's been wonderful having this time with you. Until next time, bye for now. And many, many joyful days and nights.